back again with the Elite Show, the mob, the mafia, and the man. There's the man. If you like the show, please hit the subscribe button, hit comments. We always want to hear comments. I changed my life. Yes, I did.
Yes, he did.
Special guest.
Yes, I did, too. Hold on.
Good,
I did, too. I forgot.
This is Mike Cutts.
Yes, I did, too. Thank you. John?
John Livia from the Serious and Silliness podcast YouTube channel.
Very good.
And it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you guys. It truly is.
Hey, thanks. We're looking forward to seeing you.
Did you fly down here just to be with us?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's special.
Yeah.
We could have saw you in New Jersey. Would have saved your plane ticket. What the hell? Now, you're in Jersey, right?
Yeah, now I'm in Jersey. I grew up in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, lived in Staten Island for a little bit, and now I'm in Jersey. Yeah.
So you went from...
If you see me wearing these new shirts.
Yeah, these are pretty nice.
John's.
These are pretty cool. So what's this?
And silliness.
Is that what that is? Okay,
it's
all right. Well, see that? I would never have figured that out.
Half gladiator, half court jester. I also have it tattooed on me.
Because I'm dyslexic, so I see it like backwards anyway.
It's really perfect saying for us, too.
Yeah.
Serious and silliness.
Yeah. You got to laugh, right? I mean, John.
Yeah, absolutely. When I'm on my show, there are some interviews that are hilarious, and there's some interviews that are extremely serious.
Right.
You know, I had Travis Orndorff on, which is Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful, the wrestler from the 80s, his son, and he talked about how his father was raped as a kid, and he started crying in the middle of the interview.
Wow, yeah.
And I asked him, I said, "You want to cut it off? We could cut it off from here." And he's like, No, it's fine. And he was bawling.
Yeah.
And then there were times I'm with my friends that we do this one show called Guy Talk. And the rule is you come on Guy Talk, you got to drink. You have to.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for you guys to come on.
Yeah. That's the show we got to do.
Absolutely.
All right.
And it's just guys. One guy is from the neighborhood, Bensonhurst. He lives in Staten Island now. A couple of guys, black guys from the Bronx. And they're all blue-collar knockaround guys. We're all drinking, talking shit, telling jokes, busting on each other. I mean, it's really funny, really, really funny shit.
Yeah. And you had some of my friends on. You had Frankie Steele on.
I had Frankie Steele on,
Larry.
yes. I had Larry Mazur on 3 times. Well, Larry is from the same neighborhood. And what was funny is when I was in Bensonhurst, I didn't know Larry until after the whole debacle went down. But I knew...
You say debacle. Be specific so people that...
The war.
The war, okay.
The war that happened in the 90s.
So did you know Larry in it, during it, or after it?
No. I didn't know Larry until I got him on the podcast. Once I told him I was from Bensonhurst, he was like, yeah, no problem. Right? Because he's that kind of guy. You're from the neighborhood.
Right.
But
he always wants to help the guy.
He does.
I know.
He does.
Yeah.
He absolutely
Larry got a good reputation.
Larry's got a... he does.
Larry, you're good.
Yeah, no, he does. Listen, I was in prison. You probably know, I was in prison with Larry. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
If you didn't know that from talking to Larry.
Yeah.
So, and Larry was always nice to me.
Yeah.
And being a cop in prison is not it's not the best place in the world.
It's probably the biggest thing Larry still regrets. Can't get rid of you now. Now I got you.
Wait a minute. So Larry ends up talking to Larry. Larry shot a friend of mine.
Oh, which friend was that?
Pat Romanelli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he owned a Pat and Dom's Auto Collision down on Franklin and Kent over there.
Yeah, Larry was the real deal back in the day, man. Yeah. So I didn't know Larry specifically, but I knew other names from the neighborhood, and my father and my brothers always basically told me to stay away. That was always their thing, So, I mean, I knew... And the big names when I was growing up in Bensonhurst was Wild Bill, Billy Catolo. That was a big name. Ali Shades was a big name. Chrissy Fenari was a big name.
Well, he had the...
At 19th hole. Chrissy Fenari had the 19th hole.
Ali Shades had pastels.
Has pastels. Then it was the guy from 20th Avenue. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. I can't remember his name.
Not Franchise.
Well, you knew one of my friends you said out in the hall. Somebody that knew me, right?
Bobby Borriello.
No,
I didn't know
besides Bobby, but
did.
Somebody else that knew me from the neighborhood, I think.
Oh, Ernie, but he was just a knockaround guy.
Yeah.
Ernie knew you, and then when I told him I was coming on your show, he said, "Oh my God, John Alite used to run that whole neighborhood." I was like, "Yeah," so I understand.
Yeah. Well, we had on our show, and people don't really know him, but they know
Anthony Spiro was the name.
Okay.
We had on our show Chris Carosa. Chris Carosa's uncle was Champagne Larry. Mm-hmm. Champagne Larry is the guy that invented with the Russians the gasoline tax scam with that Franchise took over.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and that was just... Listen, people don't know. This is...
it's a small world. Everybody
it really
knows
is.
each other.
It really is.
The 5 boroughs.
We all, we all know each other through somebody.
Here's a question for you. My parents grew up in Red Hook, Carroll Gardens, before it was all hipsters and yuppies and whatnot.
No. Heroin and everything else.
Then it was the Gallows, but then they got...
That's where Bobby Borriello started.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were talking before the show. But then there was one name that always was in the neighborhood that it never came out, Frankie Martin or Frankie Barranca.
Yeah.
And he was an old-timer for years. I don't think he even did any time.
Right.
And nobody talks about him, but in that neighborhood, he was like a god.
Yeah.
You know? Did you ever hear or have any...
Yeah, Frankie Martin, sure, but, you know, some guys are low-key.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a low-key guy, and that's why you're not going to hear that many stories about him. But I'm going to tell you something about Bobby Borriello, because we were talking out in the hall about Bobby. Bobby was a legitimate tough guy.
So I've heard.
You know, and when people say, you know, when people are talking, his brother Stevie, they got involved with, you know, Stevie just recently passed away too. But when they got involved in the Gala Wars back in those days, and then later on, he transferred over to the Gambino family. And then when he was with the Gambino family, I used to call him every day from prison, and then he ends up getting hit in front of his house in '91. And he happened to be also the best man at John Gotti Jr.'s wedding. And this is the problem with that life. Well, Senior had him put there because it's, you know, it was Senior's guy. He put him there, Junior and myself there, Junior. But when these guys get killed, you know, when guys are talking to me and they're talking about this guy or that guy, nobody did anything about it. In other words, there's your friendship. Like John Gotti Jr., that was your best man. You did nothing about him getting killed. Okay. So, you know, there's the bullshit with the life.
Right.
You know, the guy's gone. He's supposed to be your friend, your guy, this, that. Somebody wrote some crap to me the other day. Well, his son was in a movie theater, and Junior went and picked him up at the movie theater. Well, who needs an Uber driver?
Yeah.
You know, he didn't need an Uber driver. He needs somebody to revenge his father getting killed.
Right.
So why didn't you do it?
Right.
But I told him he didn't revenge anything with his father getting beat up in jail. He didn't revenge Sammy Gravano putting his father in jail and dying in jail. So, you know, when these guys are frauds, really, you know, you talk about real guys.
I think there's a lot of them. I think
fakers.
A lot of them.
John, I don't know you.
Go ahead.
But I want to know a little bit about where you came from.
Okay.
Never mind the neighborhood. Then what? You went on to be a construction worker?
No, what happened was I actually went to
I know you're in shape. I see you jacked.
I went to college, and then I was always interested in bodybuilding and powerlifting. And there were gyms. There was Ferrigno's gym in Benson.
Yeah, everybody heard of Ferrigno's gym.
And then there was one in Staten Island, and I used to go to the one in Staten Island. Then there was Atlas Gym. And then I had started competing in bodybuilding, and it didn't really go well because, believe it or not, I just didn't have the size. I wasn't big enough.
How old are you now?
Now I'm 46.
You're still young.
Yeah, I'm 46 years old.
You're in good shape.
Yeah, but you got to see the guys that are pros.
Yeah.
I mean, they are monsters. So anyway, so what happened was...
you ever hear of Joe Patero? He's a big bodybuilder on Long Island. Forget it.
No. The guy from Long Island that everybody knows is Dave Palumbo.
Yes.
Dave Palumbo, RX Muscle. He actually I have a commercial that used to run on his show.
Our friend was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Competed.
Yeah.
Mike Palumbo.
Yeah, Mike.
You know,
There's a lot of guys that competed. Yeah.
Hey, Mike. I threw
Mike,
one in for you.
Nassau County cop,
He
retired.
forgets about you. I don't forget about you, Mike. And I'll throw one.
Well, he took you to Trump's thing, right?
No.
No, it wasn't Mike? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Mike wasn't there. He came. He went on his own too a couple times. Oh, we were together with friends of his buddy and us. We went together to another event. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So don't tell me you didn't take you.
Well, he didn't take me.
Well, no one took me.
Listen.
No.
This is a sideshow.
Listen. Listen. He gets.
Alex, help me out here. Where's
I
Alex?
get the invites. I call him.
I'm calling in. I'm calling in the guns, Peter.
Stop. I get the invites. I say, is John welcome? I got him going to where we going next month?
Where you going?
San Diego.
But we travel so much. He makes it like I know.
Yeah.
We haven't stopped traveling.
But you did invite me
I
to
don't
the
even
college.
unpack my
You did invite me to the
suitcase
college, and I got a burger out of it. So.
You got a good burger. That was
a good burger.
So,
but you arm wrestle too, don't you?
no, I interview arm wrestlers. I never got into arm wrestling. I just don't like holding other guys' hands. It's
No?
not for me.
Oh,
Nah.
come on. Do a couple of joints. You'll be holding hands.
We hold hands
You'll be
all the
skipping
time.
around the track with each other.
So my whole family is electricians. My grandfather, my father, my brothers. So inevitably, I became an electrician, and then I took
Local 3?
No. It was Local 363. My father fought against Local 3 his whole life.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was a Local 363 back in the 70s and 80s. He was Monarch Electric. And then what happened was I took the job. I met a girl. And I took a job with New York City. I'm a sewer worker, and I still do it on the side. And then
Ed Norton was a sewer
that's
worker.
right.
You ever
That's
watch,
right. Of course, the Honeymooners. And then I decided, okay.
Wait, is that the tunnel? Right? What was it? Wasn't there a show about the sewer? No.
Hey, that's good money, though, the sewer.
Yeah,
No, really.
How's it benefits?
It's fantastic. The same benefits as cops.
Isn't that the old Irish?
Really?
Wasn't there an old Irish tunnel rats they used to call them? What do they call them?
Well, that was, I think, when they built the tunnel.
Right, okay, that was quite. There was like an old Irish gangster unit back in the day. They let the wise guys in now and then.
Oh, yeah, you still in the neighborhood or no?
No, I live in New Jersey now.
Where you at?
I am in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
Right, yeah.
So you did the tunnels.
So basically, then I decided, okay, I'm going to do this podcast, and I started off just talking into a mic, talking about what's referred to as the Manosphere Red Pill, which is basically there are young guys that go on YouTube and podcasts and look at how to be a man because they don't have fathers, or it's like basically a lost art how to be a man today. I mean, you guys are truly men, but there are a lot of guys out there who don't.
They have no clue.
And it's I mean, there are so many podcasts and YouTube channels that are out there. I mean, there's Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, Rollo Tomate. There's so many of them that it's just flooded. So I decided I'm going to make it a interview show. Once I made it an interview show, I had some connects with bodybuilding and powerlifting,
right,
and I was able to bring them on.
Right.
And then I contacted Larry because he was from the neighborhood, and he said, yeah, right away. And then basically it was like opening Pandora's box. Once I got the bodybuilders on, and once I got the arm wrestlers on, I mean, I've had Monster Michael Todd on, I had Paul Lynn on, there's all arm wrestlers. I had tremendous women on, Gabby V, who's like, has 30-something time arm wrestling champion. Then I've had porno girls on.
That's where we want to go.
Yeah,
Stop right there. We want the porno girls.
Yeah. How's that work?
Get on our show.
I've had Sarah.
Can we get any of them on our show?
Absolutely.
We'll switch. I'll give you a couple of ours.
Can we actually do a show with the porno girls on our show?
I think so. Yeah, because I had Alexis. I had Alexis
Do we
Golden
need
and Sarah
Viagra too?
J. Probably with those girls.
I don't think you need it.
Sarah J. told me some really good stories.
We're gonna have to get penile implants.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Like Castellano had.
It is what it is. Well, you like it or you don't.
I had Sarah J. on, and she told me some crazy stories.
You're not gonna get hurt. You're not gonna get hurt. You're not gonna get hurt. But what's the ultimate put down is? I've seen smaller. It's not like that. It's fine. No, you're the fine.
The girl calls me up. I told the story.
It's fine. I said that's not good. Don't tell me it's fine.
She calls me up. She knows one of my son's friends and whatever, and it's my son Jimmy, and she calls me up. She says that she knows me. She's talking. We're on Bluetooth, and she said they were sending pictures back and forth, and I go, I don't even know what you're talking about. She's talking about some site. So she says, yeah, you sent me a dick pic. I go, I did? She goes, yeah. I says, well, was it big? She goes, yeah. I says, definitely
that wasn't me.
It's got the wrong guy. Yeah. Somebody's perpetrating. But tell him thank you anyway.
Thanks.
He's raising my.
So when I had Sarah J. on, I asked her what was the most embarrassing moment that ever happened to you on set, and she gave me this story. She said that she had signed a contract with they live stream porn, so you're watching it live, and she's filming in Budapest, and she's 69 and this other girl, and there's a guy behind her fucking her, and they're 69, and out of nowhere, it's live, she has a period all over this girl's face.
Oh,
just
wow.
everywhere.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And
I can't. I wish.
And then they had to cut to like another angle.
I mean, that's a gangster move.
And then take her out, and
that other girl had to throw up.
The girl was like, no, it's fine.
No,
it's fine. Meanwhile, there's blood everywhere, and Sarah J's trying to clean it off and whatnot. They had to clean the whole thing off.
Don't worry about it.
And then I asked her.
If you ain't got a red mustache, you ain't lived, bro. Let me tell you something right now.
A guy's face before.
That's like
we were hitting him.
That's like that scene from Raging Bull.
Yeah, we were back.
Wait. Did I just hear him? Did he just back? Did you just back out?
Of what?
You gotta get the red mustache program. If you don't get that, you ain't never lived.
You know we call him Mikey Cuts for.
You gotta get right in there.
Just cut you off and me twice.
You gotta get right in there, bro. You can't say no on that day. You have one chance.
No, can't do it.
Evan, a producer.
Speaking of red mustache.
He's not saying nothing.
Speaking of red mustaches.
Evan knows you're nuts. John, he cut you off again.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I had I asked Sarah J. what was the strangest fetish that she was ever involved in. And she said, well, it was in my private life. So I said, go ahead, what happened? And she said she was going over to this guy's house. It was a friend of hers. They would just bang and, hang out, have a few drinks and whatever. And she goes over and he says to her, I've been saving my cum in the refrigerator and I want you to feed it to me. And
wow.
she actually fed it to him. And I was about to throw. When you watch the interview with me, I almost throw up.
Did you kiss her?
All right, she's out. We want another point.
Yeah.
She can't go.
Wait, she didn't eat it.
What
He
if she
did.
brings us coffee or something?
She didn't eat it. He did. He ate his own jizz. That's good.
No, you can interview her. I'm skipping that one.
You're not allowed.
A better one for me to interview.
Alexis Golden seems
These
to be
guys
a little bit more.
Listen, you didn't spend
chill.
enough time in prison, motherfucker.
You see what I'm talking about? This is what I'm
You
dealing
gotta
with.
deal
How
with
could
this
you
every
not eat
day.
your own jizz? You tell me you're not rating your own jizz by mistake.
You're not giving me coffee no
You're
more.
going down in there.
I don't trust him. He'll wait till I'm drunk and give me coffee.
If you hit it yesterday, you get up in the morning, you eat it. You're getting your own jizz somehow. It's happening. Unless she ran up and hit it. All
right. Evan, can you close his mic on his end?
I'm just saying. Come on, he'll be real. You guys, you kill people for a living. You're over there fucking lifting, you're lifting sewer plates up with people's shit. I saw you eat some stuff.
Although, when you're talking about blood and all that, I was thinking about that. What's John Voight? Angelina Jolie. She drank blood.
Yeah, she had the vial of blood. Yeah,
I like her
right.
too. She's sexy.
So now you're okay with the little jizz then?
Well, no, I'm okay with the blood.
The blood's
She drank
fine.
a little vial of blood. That's not really.
You don't watch those fetish movies? Come on.
No, I don't.
Speaking of red mustaches, I interviewed a 1% biker named Danny D'Lo. He has his own podcast with the Danny D'Lo Bike Club. He wouldn't tell me what bike club it was from. He said it was the Big Four. So it's either Angels, Outlaws,
I know the Big Ten, but that's basketball.
Yeah. He said it was either Angels, Outlaws, Pagans, and Banditos. He wouldn't tell me which one, but which is fine. So he must still be involved or whatever.
You said the Mongols?
He didn't say the Mongols. No.
The Mongols are big.
No, the Mongols are big.
Pretty big.
So I was asking
I
about.
tell you, they're big.
Oh yeah.
Pretty big.
So I was asking about the patches, and there were certain patches he wouldn't tell me about. And I said one of the patches were mustaches, but I found that they're wings, and they're all different colors. And he's like, I'd rather not talk about that. There was another one called Filthy Few, and he's like, I'd rather not talk about that. Nomads, I'd rather not talk about that.
Is he still active, guy?
I
don't
guess.
think so.
I don't think so,
Yeah.
but he just would rather not talk about it. So I call up a friend of mine, and actually he watches the interview. He calls me. And he does work on my bike because I have a Harley Davidson. And he does work on my bike. And he goes, I could tell you what those patches mean. And I was like, all right, what do they mean? So I was like, Danny wouldn't tell me. So he goes, well, the mustaches, he goes, they're wings. He goes, if it's a black one, that means you ate out a black girl. If it's a yellow one, that means you ate out an Asian girl. He goes, if it's a red one, that means you ate out a girl on her period.
There you go.
He goes, if it's a brown one, that means you ate her ass.
That's good too. Really?
And if it's a green one, that means you ate her while knowing she had an STD.
Oh,
you probably
Oh, no, that's not right.
Let me ask you a question. As a
How do they
biker-
do that? I
Wait,
mean-
as a bike, I want to know if you got a Harley, like he got a Harley, but it has training wheels. Does that count?
I have the training wheels if I had a Harley. I ain't
That's
got
what he said.
Yeah,
You got training wheels.
Yeah.
I have all those badges, I think.
Yeah.
You got all those wings.
I have every wing. I had every wing.
Yeah, and he don't care, really.
Did you ever have any
wings?
No.
He's still not eating out his first girl.
Any dealings with bike clubs back when you were running the streets?
One of my good friends was Pepe.
Sorry,
they call him Pepe.
ladies and gentlemen.
He was the Hell's Angel first chapter president, and he passed away. Rest in peace for him. And I was very close with him, and he became the president. We call him Pepsi. His real name was Gregory Hines, and his sister was a nice kid that grew up with us. They didn't have parents; they had a hard life. And we used to date as kids, and she worked in a bowling alley and whatever.
Right.
I mean, really a nice girl, sister. And she used to beg us as kids, especially as a brother, to change our lives. And
of course,
none of us listened. And she has I believe she has 3 daughters now. Nice girl, completely opposite of me and her brother and thing. But I used to ride with him. I'd go over to the chapter and.
The one in the city on 3rd Street?
Yeah.
They sold that building now.
Yeah. They used to have the hog in there downstairs.
Oh, I've never been in
It's great. Okay. And then another one was Mark Verde. He was from Ohio. He was in prison.
Mark. He was good to
play
me.
handball
Good to
with
me.
me.
Yeah.
Big guy, strong as a mother.
Bench press 600 pounds.
Wow. He used to tell me, spot him. Like, what am I going to do? Spot you.
Good luck.
600 pounds. I'm going up with the ball while he's benching it. And we used to play handball together. He could move for a big guy.
Really?
And, we boxed together and different things. But so, I had some involvement. And then on the pagan side, I grew up with a couple of guys, Michael and John Spencer, live a couple blocks from my house.
Okay.
Their father was a VP with them. with the pagans. So yeah, I had some my dealings obviously with bike. I mean, listen, we all interact.
Yeah.
But them as kids, we grew up. We were all best friends, and Mo was a wild man, tough. He reminded me of Johnny Cash back when we were kids. So you know, he was a great guy. He ends up losing his life and took his life.
Wow.
Back, we were kids. We're not kids. We were in our 20s at that time.
Yeah.
But
sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But speaking of bench pressing, I had both guys that have the bench press world record on my podcast, and there's it's called the raw bench, and then there's equipped. The raw bench is you just benching a T-shirt, and equipped is you actually have this vest on the shirt.
Yeah. So you can press.
I thought raw benching like you're benching naked or something.
So the guy,
Michael, try that.
Yeah,
the guy who had the raw bench press, his name is Julius Maddox, and he benched 783.
Really?
Yeah, and he's trying to go for 800. Now the guy that he equipped bench presser, the world record is 1320.
Did he bench that much? Well, listen, when Mark was benching six, and I think he was benching
Same
six.
as Jimmy Cobb.
I think Mark benched 615 in McKeon when I was spotting him.
Right.
615. Honestly, he had so much weight, and it
ball
looked like the ball was bending a little bit.
The powerlifters use
right?
special
The ball
bars.
bent a little bit because of the weight.
Oh, no question.
And I'm saying,
I used to bend it all the time.
He goes, if I can't get the second one, just put your finger there. And I'm like, my finger. If you get caught on the second one, I'm going to be screaming for help. I go,
Yeah, right.
And he was so, but he was a really, I mean, obviously he's a vicious side to the guy if it wants to come out, but he was a gentle giant, man. He was a nice guy.
I've noticed that a lot of legitimate tough guys are nice guys.
Well, you met this guy that we brought in here earlier today, Severin,
Dan
right?
Severin,
What
yeah.
a gentleman, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can't stand these new punk fucking trolls on these social media. I can't stand these guys.
That was one of the last. That's one of the last things we talked about on. I do this one show called Guy Talk. We were talking about it earlier, and one of the things we talked about was the Mike Tyson incident and all these young guys too comfortable doing things without any consequences because.
Oh, I spoke up for Mike a lot.
Oh, everybody did.
Cameras, the media, social media.
Let's say hello to Lee Cole. He's a guy that he's another troll. I got an email he sent me about the Gottis trying to set me up and nonsense, and so I got two of them actually from we put them out. And this is a guy who kidnapped a girl who was accused of being a child molester, in his own words on the email that the Gotti said he's child molester. Now he's back friends with the Gottis, and this is what they do. They're not ashamed of themselves. They're not embarrassed. Grown men that behave like this, and they do these bullshit YouTubes with maybe 30 people that listen to them.
Yeah, right.
And they have no idea what jerk-offs they sound like. And this is the thing. It's amazing that they got no sort of pride, and yet the Gottis want to get friends with a guy that kidnapped a little girl and supposedly molested her.
Oh, my God.
And I don't know the details of the case, but since they want to get popular, we might as well talk about it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I don't. That is the pedophile thing is way too common.
I know.
I just don't understand it. I don't get it for the life of me. I don't understand. Well, you know about the what was the UFC fighter's name that went to go?
Oh yeah, he shot the father instead of the son by
mistake. But
too bad he couldn't get close to him and rip his head off.
What was the fighter's name?
It was just recent. It was
we just talked about it. I feel bad.
I'm not good with names.
There's no way this guy should be in jail.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. And they did the right thing. They called the cops at first, and then they let him out. They let him out. I think the same day.
Well, that's what made him go after him.
And then that was it.
That's
and then
it.
people like saying things like, "Well, why didn't he just beat the shit out of him?" I'm like, dude, once he grabbed that Glock, he made his decision.
Right.
He was going to kill him.
Yeah.
There was no.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't
It's
blame
his child. Who wouldn't want to do the same thing? They should never put him in jail. They should get a temporary.
Anybody that has a judgment against that guy,
5-year-old boy,
that for doing that,
and he wasn't the only one.
he doesn't belong on this earth.
That guy's parents ran the preschool.
Well, I'm going
and he was living in the house with
But
them.
I'm going to tell you something, and I just said this. He would have never got a conviction anyway against the guy because he's taking the kid in the bathroom. There's no witnesses.
Right.
There's nothing to prove it. There's no DNA there anymore.
Right.
Time has passed. How are they going to convict the guy?
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a weak case against this guy. He got a bail right away. And this poor guy, the fighter, when you have the gun and you're chasing him, you're not thinking about catching him. You just went crazy.
Yeah.
If he had him in front of him, he would never use the gun and use his hands.
Yeah.
And ripped his head off. Unfortunately,
he shot the father, but as far as I'm concerned, the guy's in his 40s, and they have the preschool, and they knew this guy's background.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that you know, if you're in your 40s and living with your parents, I mean,
I want to know the prosecutors and judges that are going to sentence this fighter. How do you sentence him? It should be temporary insanity.
By the way, Mom and Dad, please don't kick me out. All right,
temporary insanity.
I don't want to lose my.
But they also say that he's got a great lawyer, a lawyer that was Michael Jackson's lawyer, Puff Daddy's lawyer. He has a great lawyer, and from what I understand, they raised over $1 million for him.
Speaking of Puff Daddy, you had DMC.
I had Run DMC.
Run
yeah,
DMC.
I had on.
How was Run?
Well, I didn't have Run. I had Daryl DMC.
Okay.
And great interview because you ask him one question and he just takes off. But a tremendous. He talked about hip hop and. He talked about how he got started and how he really wasn't into hip-hop. He was really into hard rock back in the 70s and superheroes. Like, he loves comic books.
Wow, that's funny.
And he basically talked about how Russell Simmons didn't want him in the group. He didn't think he could rap. And then once he started spitting some rhymes, then Russell Simmons was convinced. And it was the three of them. And then we talked about his partner getting shot. The DJ. Oh God, I can't remember who it was. It was Reverend Run, DMC, and Jam Master Jay. Oh, yeah. How Jam Master Jay got shot. Jam Master Jay is dead. They killed him.
Oh, I didn't know.
In the studio, he got shot like 10, 15 years ago. They killed him. And nobody knows the involvement.
He got shot, but I didn't know he died.
Yeah, they
from
killed
that
him.
shooting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
And they just arrested the guy a few years back. Wow. And but it was a tremendous.
We just had a young rapper on. No Sleep Bugatti from Chicago.
Young guy.
He did an album. He did some songs about me in it. Actually, young guy, 24 years old, real positive guy. Cool kid, man. Does good by his mom.
We had the Albanian, too, come reach out to us the other day. What was his name? The friend, he knows you?
Yeah. Remy, you're talking about?
No. I'll look him up. I forgot his name.
Meritone. There's some songs some guys did with me. Meritone, great.
I have a question. I have a question
out
for
of
you,
Albania
John.
too.
There's an episode in The Sopranos where Christopher first gets made, and he's finally a member of the family, and he has to pay for everything. Do you remember that episode where they go to dinner and he's got to foot the bill, and then Paulie Walnuts is really taking advantage of it, and then Tony Soprano says to him, you know, you pay the bill until we tell you to pay the bill. That's initiation. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Most of these guys never did anything to get where they got.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're like white-collar criminals now. You know, you don't see any killing of violence. It's not the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Right.
So, I don't know what's true with them. I just think, you read the books, Machiavelli, and you read you can't rule without fear.
What is this?
Action Bronson?
Who the hell is that?
Action Bronson.
Action Bronson. Okay.
He's a rapper from the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
Very popular Albanian, good guy. You can't rule without fear.
Right.
And there is no fear. Mm-hmm. Because these guys don't do anything.
Yeah.
They just talk a lot. There's no consequences for their action. Well, they're naive. They're not street guys the way we knew street guys before.
Yeah.
They talk like imbeciles. They're on social media. Stevie Creer's kid, Dom. Another spoiled little fat kid that runs around on social media. No one shuts him down. No one yells at him. No one threatens him within the mob I'm talking about. Because your father's supposed to be an active, one of the bosses, Lucchese family from jail. And this is an embarrassment. That's your son that's running around like a child.
Well, what's his name says the same thing. Frankie, the big guy who was on Vlad TV also. His father ratted him out. I think you guys had him on. Frankie, Jesus Christ, big fat.
Pasqua.
Yeah, Frankie Pasqua. He says the same thing you say, that it's impossible today to have it.
The problem is, they know that you can't do anything to them anymore, or you're stupid to do anything to them, so they talk, and there's no consequence. So when you see like what Mike Tyson did to that little bastard on the plane, he deserved it.
Right.
You're harassing the guy, and every one of them think they're not going to get hit like that.
Right.
But they should get hit like that because you're not only, Mike was a gentleman at the beginning. Anybody that knows what happened before that, and Mike usually is a gentleman, so he's got this bad reputation that he's he flies off the handle. Of course you're going to fly off the handle. The guy's annoying the shit out of him. He's in his ear. He won't stop. Finally, he told him 6 times, leave me alone. He won't leave him alone. But then you got the same thing with these mob guys. They never did anything. You know, so these ain't guys that are about anything. These guys are frauds. They put a cigar in their mouth. They never did a piece of work. You never hurt anybody, never stabbed them, and they never got shot themselves. They never, you know, they're about absolutely nothing. And I use the example of Gotti because everybody knows I don't like them. They don't leave me alone. They hound me. They're negative people. They don't do anything positive. But I said, forget about anything else. They don't leave you alone. When you allow your father to go to jail and the guy to put him there and you don't do anything, you're not a gangster. If you allow your father to get his ass kicked in jail and you don't do nothing, the guy came home 2 years later, you're not a gangster. If you allowed your brother-in-law to get his ass kicked and almost killed by us on the street and you didn't do anything, you're not a gangster.
Right.
If you allow your best man at your wedding to get killed and you didn't do anything, you're not a gangster.
Right.
If you get stabbed up in Long Island and you didn't go get the guys that stabbed you up, you're not a gangster.
Right.
If you let Stevie Newell get shot up, you said you're going to protect him by me, you're not a gangster. If you let Joe O'Kane get stabbed and killed in prison and he's around you and you didn't do anything, you're not a gangster. So when someone says to me, well, where's he? And I could go with that list. You're not a fucking gangster. So stop the nonsense.
Right.
You're a name dropper that's, was put in a position because of nepotism. And there's a lot of these guys like him. And they don't like that I talk like this because anybody like your friend that knows me, what's his name from Queens? Ernie knows when I was out there what I was.
Oh, he said it. My friend
Speaking of dropping guys in sewers.
So this is the problem with that life. Just be a gentleman. You don't have to be in that life, but they don't know how to do that, and they're not suffering the consequences of it. So if they really wanted to be killers, there's a lot of guys out there that cooperate. Instead of typing about them, go do something about it if you want to be in that life.
Right.
But they don't.
Have you ever come across a body in the sewer?
Not me, but a friend actually came across an infant.
Really?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently, when you first started?
This is when I first started. I've been there for about 11 years, and the guy, his name is Tom.
At the time or now?
No, at the time.
At the time.
I was a friend of mine. What happens is there's plants, there's sewer plants all over New York City.
Yeah, big. Those the big where they clean the water.
Right, and where the one I work at is in Harlem.
Okay, yes.
And
on the river? Is it on the river?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yes.
And it's where all the sewer water rushes in. That's the first spot. So my friend was working in that spot, and it basically has these huge claws, and it goes down and picks up all the shit and drops in, and it was a baby.
Terrible.
Yeah, and they had to call the cops.
Somebody dropped them there purposely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but do you? So are you work in the plants?
Yeah.
So you're a plant operator, or are you?
No. What happens is they call it a sewage treatment worker.
Okay.
So the system runs 24 hours, so things break down, so they need trades guys.
Right.
So they need electricians.
Oh, you're an electrician in the trade.
Yeah, so they need electricians.
So you're an electrician in the sewer trade.
Right.
Hit the subscribe button,
work?
guys.
Yeah.
Subscribe, send comments to John, talk about his show, anything.
Thank you
Hit
very
us and
much.
send
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
Serious and Silliness, subscribe, like, and share. Yes.
Yeah,
Great
sharing
stuff.
is caring.
Nice having John. Nice having John.
I'm not cutting him off yet.
Oh,
Well, did you say you wanted?
I just was telling him.
Did you say he only had 20 minutes with us?
No, I don't know, Evan. We're good.
Oh, okay. Because someone said that.
So
We don't call him Mikey.
No, he has a meeting.
Just trying to cut the show
Matt
off.
has a meeting up in Cocoa Beach. That's why I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, they
He's
left
gone?
already?
Yeah, we got
All right, we're good. All right, I could be here all day.
Evan's got things to do. you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
Evan's still after us. The last time he was going on basketball game. He ruined
Basketball
it for him.
game.
I tried getting some OnlyFans girls on my show, and they are the absolute worst to try and get on because
What's the OnlyFans? The ones that do the sex things on the show? We just heard about them.
yeah, it's OnlyFans really blew up during the lockdown because all these strippers and escorts really couldn't make money, so they put themselves on there. But now regular girls are putting themselves on there too.
Yeah.
Oh, can we get on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You definitely can.
If I had a 14-inch hammer, I'd be on there. Let me tell you right now. I'm not gonna lie.
We're gonna go for the
If
injection.
I had that, I can forget about it.
And I had maybe 3 of those girls on there, and it's almost impossible locking them down because, first of all, they're like toxic to begin with, and I mean
That's every relationship you've ever had. What are you
trying
kidding?
to get one of those girls that basically take their clothes off for money to a time, it's impossible. You know,
So you have to go pick them up.
Oh, they're on different watches.
You have to go. You have to go pick them up.
One girl told me
that would be horrible.
One girl told me not anything before 2 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when I sleep till.
Right.
So
right. Because she's up making money.
So she'll never get a career.
She's up. No, she's up making money till 6 a.m. with the ming.
Yeah, yeah. And it was just like I did have another girl on that was addicted to plastic surgery. That was a good one.
Was her name Tommy by any chance?
No.
And anybody that knows us, hit the subscribe button because you know what we're talking about. Tommy.
Now you got to fill me in. Who's Tommy?
Tommy's the guy that we used to do some shows with in West Palm. He's
fucking faggot. Fuck.
Take that back. I got a lot of gay friends.
No, but he's a disgrace.
Oh, say disgrace.
He disgraced the faggots. I don't mean
you can bleep it out.
He's got the black hair and it's dyed and he does all Botox and
listen. My gay friends, my trans, all my homo people. Yeah. This guy, he makes them look straight. He's got.
You're still not doing that right.
Bones.
You said all those homo people.
Yeah, friends.
They're not homo.
Yes, they're not.
You insulted my friends now, and they were.
I think homosexuals is a good.
Tell me, you can call yourself that. You can't call our friends.
I'm not a hater. At all. They know me. People on the show.
But he's still
people on the show.
They got to call me and say, why are you letting them talk like that?
This is not for the faint-hearted, this show.
Listen.
No, they know that. They know he's only joking. I'm just kidding. He doesn't.
Yeah, I know. No, but I'm mad at We're mad at what he did.
It's not my fault he's stupid. You guys know that already. And girls, sorry.
How's my blue jacket? Is it sharpening things up? What do you? Come on. Be just straight up. Come on.
Not for me.
Son of a
Evan, who dresses better? Me or mine?
I'm not gonna lie.
John, I didn't spend $800 on a pair of jeans.
I'm not gonna.
They weren't 800. They were 1,000.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw John on Valuetainment with Patrick, Patrick David, I had a wedding to go to. And I did copy his style.
Thank you.
I did copy his style.
So soon they'll be copying my style. Don't you worry.
Listen, I'm going to take him to Woolworths, and we're going to get the same clothes at a discount. No, he's actually dresses better these days. He's dressing.
You're rubbing off on him.
I've been informed I need to step up my game. So now I'm spending a few dollars.
Yeah.
Not much. I'm waiting for someone to gift me a Rolex, like John.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, he gets gifts. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
I'm waiting for that because I'm not buying one.
Look, they got me these shoes. They're beautiful.
Wow.
These were a gift.
Navy blue
Actually, these were
shoes.
very expensive shoes. Do you know what these shoes were really? I didn't buy them. Somebody bought them.
Valley's pointed at his shoes. Why don't you show me your underwear?
they're
John, why don't you show us your underwear?
Yeah.
Or they Costco's fucking...
I got Adidas sneakers on right now.
No, the Roberto Cavalli underwear.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So I think I got a Roberto
Now we got
Cavalli.
him, Now we got
Let me show you. Are they? Roberto Cavalli.
There they are.
Roberto Cavalli. Yeah, all right, so what? Mine are Costco's.
You saw me
8 for
this
10.
morning. You know they were Roberto Cavalli.
Mine are 8 for 10 at Costco's. They hold the same
stuck
thing.
in the room
You
this
said you don't have a big schwanz, so it doesn't matter what you're wearing. I don't want to say.
It's cute though.
It's cute.
Has everything got to be big?
As long as it works.
Look,
That's all it doesn't matter.
You like the little Porsches, or you got to always drive a Hummer? You see what
I'll take a Hummer and a Porsche.
Yeah.
Speaking of trans, I did have a.
I'll take a Hummer in a Porsche.
I did have a trans woman athlete on my show.
Did you?
Yeah, a trans woman arm wrestler. When she was a man, she was just an amateur, and as a woman, she was a world champion.
Wow.
Well, let me tell you something.
Wow.
We got into this because seriously.
I might not be close to
we have some trans that are friends of ours.
Yes, they do.
Transition.
Well, that's me too. This woman, Robin.
Okay, and
very nice.
I got to tell you, the good thing about open conversation about freedom is they do bring, back and forth. You can bring your points across because some things I disagreed. Then after we spoke, I actually agreed with them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wait a second.
And
this is the reason why you can't shut down open conversation and freedom.
Exactly.
She was not pro.
So Joe Rogan, you're right. By the way, I got to throw you.
No. So Elon Musk is right. She was not pro us. By the way.
No, Joe Rogan said all I'm doing is giving. I didn't like that he bellied up a little bit to them, but then he came back and he says, "Hey, all I'm doing is sending a conversation back and forth. I'm not giving my opinion. I'm just talking about let's."
But you're 100% right about open conversation because when I had her on, I had my stance on it.
Yes.
And for the most part, my stance is still the same. But she said to me, there are arm wrestling federations that don't want me there, so I just don't deal with them. And then the ones that do want me there, the girls that I go up against have to vote and make sure that they're all comfortable arm wrestling me. If they aren't, then I can't arm wrestle. So I'm like, I can't really ask for much more than that.
I got to say something because this hit directly home with a friend of ours. A friend of ours, I'm not going to mention names, very close with us, daughter recently was contemplating killing themselves. Right? And
I think more than that, though. I think maybe he took some steps.
Well, there was a couple, but it took some steps.
It happens a lot in that world.
So now here's the problem I have for the people who have an opinion. She wanted to transition to a boy. Okay. Now, like I told the mom, if that's what she wants to do, it's her life. What's the problem with that?
How old is
I don't
she?
know. 18. Now, what's the problem with what she wants to do as long as she's happy, right?
Yeah.
Because when you take the clothes off, you cut the hair, you take makeup off, on and off, sneakers, whatever, you got the same person on the inside as the outside. Because you don't like it or are uncomfortable, but what do you care what somebody else does with their life? I really don't understand why everybody's making such a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And as a mother or a father, as a parent, you just want your child to be happy, safe, and have a good life, right?
Yeah.
So whatever that may be, and if you're the person, no matter, like if you want to change your life on the clothes you wear, well, you don't got to ask people to raise their hand and say, "Oh, do you like my wardrobe?" It's nothing different. It's their life.
Yeah.
Do what you want with it.
I'm going to start wearing a skirt here and some
So
heels.
what?
And some
If you wear
heels.
a
I'm
skirt-
gonna.
I mean, the only thing I have a problem with you is you got hairy legs.
No, I do not have any hair on my
Yeah,
legs.
you got it shaved.
Do I have any hair?
No, wow, it looks like you wax your
I
legs.
think he started
You're
waxing
halfway
it.
there.
I don't have
had
any hair. I have no
halfway
hair
there.
on my legs
Evan,
or my ass.
he's waxing. His hair was, he had hairy legs.
I have no hair on my ass or my legs, and in prison
You had
they wanted to pay for
electrolysis.
that motherfucker big time. And I this first
He's,
guy,
he's waxing. He's waxing. You're waxing.
I don't have the money to wax.
All you need is a skirt and you're set.
I wonder why
That's
I
it.
felt the nubs the other day when you're rubbing your leg against mine.
Holy
They
shit.
were your nubs, not mine, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, so I agree with you. If after you're 18, then you can.
No, at 18. Listen, we did this with the girl that was on our show.
Yeah.
And I talked about, listen,
Guy that turned
5
girl,
years old,
that
6
turned
years
the
old, 7
transition.
years. I said it this way.
The children
If
know,
it's a
I don't agree.
heterosexual teacher and it's a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, he has no business giving him any kind of sexual.
Zero.
Just
Zero.
zero.
Just
Yeah.
let them-
Oh, you got to be heterosexual. You got to be
No,
no, you shouldn't be saying anything.
Nothing. Shouldn't be sex. Should be
You're
coming
teaching
out.
my kid ABCs.
You're not a
1, 2, 3s,
psychologist.
and
Leave
that's
them
it.
alone.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
Just teach them.
You
And
know.
wherever they go with their lives as time goes on, and they want to speak to somebody, they could go to therapists, they could go to their parents.
That's right.
But who's a teacher to think they are when they don't have a psychology degree to take someone's child and talk to them?
No, you should not be-
And I'm not saying whatever agenda, because for me, I'm for your pro-choice or whatever you want to do with your own life.
I agree 100%. Like I said, after 18, when you're a legal adult, you do what you want, go right ahead. But the only problem is the athletes. When the only problem I have is when a man becomes a woman athlete and then they dominate that sport, like the swimmer or like my
that's just
friend,
not-
you know,
it's just
because it
not.
doesn't happen the other way.
Maybe they should
You
have
know,
their own transgender league.
Yeah. The only problem is it's only
No,
like
it
1% of
doesn't
the
work.
population.
Yeah, but that doesn't work
So if you have like
either.
a football,
You know why that doesn't work?
team, you
Because-
can't.
Well, that's up to them to get the build the support.
It doesn't
build
work.
the support.
No, it don't work. I want to tell you why, and they'll agree with me if people
Who's
are
them?
listening. Anybody that's transitioned in their life from male to female, female to male. Because you're stuck in no man's land then. They're trying to transition either to a male or to a female. They don't want to be stuck in the middle. They want to go to where they want to go.
Right.
And they have a point there, right? Now, I don't know the answer to being an athlete.
I actually don't agree with that at all.
Well, here's okay.
Zero. I have zero agreement.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. Here's my idea with the swimmer. He was 400 and something. Now, as a female, he's first.
Right.
Okay. So you should give, if he's in the female divisions
Use
now.
the other one.
Okay. If he's in the female divisions, they should give them, the girl should start here, and he should start back here to even up his talent for what it was before.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's even again. And he's got to start here. Right
So like
now,
the horse, they give a 10-pound weight on a horse if it's a better horse. I mean,
whatever.
Don't
you know,
they handicap
There's
like
a million
that, right?
things you can do. Handicap. Your handicap scores. Right. You handicap when you take a test for a fireman or something. Some of the scores you don't have to score as high or whatever they do. So why can't you do it in sports?
Yeah, the problem is the opposite. When a woman becomes a man, she's not dominating men's sports. Not even close.
Right. Well, although some might beat the shit out of me.
Yeah. You know, but when you be, you're right. But if you're gonna allow it, there's got to be some kind of.
Man, we figured out how to get to the moon.
You could figure
we
this
can
out.
figure this out.
Well,
So it ain't that difficult.
Well, the
It's
thing
not
is,
that.
everybody's touchy.
Well,
Everybody's
it's
touchy.
not touchy. the extreme left is so radical, and they don't want to have open conversation.
And the rest of the
means
Democrats,
when there's no open conversation, none of this is going to move forward.
Right.
So I'm always saying the same thing, not just with this subject, with the inner city kids, with anything, financial situations,
immigration.
You got immigration. If you don't talk, nothing gets settled.
100%, absolutely.
So you need to keep the conversation going.
There's no question.
So when you're shutting people down and parents down at schools, that's dictatorship.
When the
that's
conversation stop, bombs start falling.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
That's what happens.
Oh, we saw it. We saw it with Antifa, and we saw it with the riots. And so on and
I mean, you got the Ukrainians,
that's George
and you got the
Soros.
Russians bombing the Ukrainians.
I've heard that story.
You stop
George
talking.
Soros, you need a rope for him.
I've heard
you know, I hate to advocate violence, but George, you need a rope.
Some odd situations.
Some situations.
The girl,
He's a miserable bastard
the trans
trying to
woman
cause
that I
division.
interviewed. Yeah, I mean, I've heard the same stories.
Yeah.
The trans woman I interviewed also said that the women have to be okay with it, and she also has to show paperwork that her testosterone level is as low as a woman.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is, it's not just testosterone though. Your reflexes are faster because you're a man.
More muscle.
Muscle
tissue.
It's your bone structure your bone density actually stays if you take estrogen. So they're taking estrogen, and their bone density is still of a man, because it actually increases the.
So
bone
if I took estrogen, would I get bigger bone?
You'd get bigger tits too.
Say that again. Tell me this.
When a trans woman wants the testosterone level low and the estrogen level high to be a woman, the problem is when you're a man and you take estrogen, that actually preserves the muscle density of a man. So your muscle density doesn't dwindle.
Right.
So there were two things that don't go down. The muscle goes down because your testosterone level goes down. But the two things that don't go down are your muscle density, and your reflexes don't change.
The bone. What about the bone?
No, the bone stays the same. Bone density stays the same.
Right.
And I'm sorry, did I say muscle?
You said muscle.
I apologize. Bone density stays the same. Muscle drops. Bone density and reflexes stay the same. And a man's hips and shoulders are a lot different. A man's hips are made for athleticism because primitive man had to hunt and gather and so on and so forth. A woman's hips are made for childbearing, so it's completely different.
Yeah, a woman can carry a baby forever.
Yeah.
My arms are killing me. My kids.
2 hours they're online.
I bought one of those pouches so I could hold my kid in it. And their mother was like, "You ain't gonna wear that." I go, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna wear that because it's killing me carrying them on my. I ain't got no hip to carry."
You see them online and they carry this for an hour, 2 hours. Oh my God!
They put them on each hip. They put them on their neck.
5 minutes with my phone in my hand, my arm hurts.
Yeah.
And the combat sports too is a problem. When you have men transitioning to women and they want to be UFC fighters, and we saw that with Fallon Fox.
Oh, that's why I just bring a gun to that fight.
Yeah, Fallon Fox broke that woman's skull.
Who did?
Fallon Fox was a man, transitioned to a woman, and fought in MMA. And she actually broke a woman's skull.
Wow, yeah. This is not good.
There's a big gray area that's got to be resolved.
That's different.
Yeah.
When you're talking about contact sports, I don't know what I would say with that. There's a different opinion.
Yeah.
Because now you're talking about really hurting somebody like that.
Yeah,
which is not safe.
See, that's why I don't. That's why
swimming
I want
or something else. When you're
See,
not
that's
hurting
sad.
somebody.
That's not right.
No,
I mean,
no.
that's,
The only way you're hurting somebody through is basically like college tuition or grants and so on and so forth. Like, now you're going to give it to the trans girl because she's the best, and somebody that the number one girl.
I mean,
what's Bruce Jenner transferred his name, changed his name to what now?
Caitlyn.
He has a union.
He's completely
take.
Against it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I'm one.
And he
And he
likes
was
women.
a great athlete. And listen, he's a pretty smart guy. She's a pretty smart woman now. I get that.
Good.
But she is smart.
Yeah.
And she was a hell of an athlete. So
No, when
you gotta
Bruce
take
Jenner
an
was
opinion, somebody
an
that-
athlete's athlete.
Yeah.
He was an amazing elite athlete. If you ever saw there's a documentary on Netflix about him, and the time and work he put in for that decathlon was a normal
I gotta
person
tell you
could
what.
never do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you
but
get
does he
involved
like
with-
women?
Yes.
Caitlyn?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one
He
thing.
has a girlfriend.
If you go to the
Yeah, I know, it's strange.
You get involved with the Kardashians, they're killing every guy.
It confuses me.
Poor Odom, everybody. They're ruining them. I don't know what they're doing to all these guys.
The Kardashians are the family that your mother tells you to stay away from.
I'm like this with the Kardashians. I don't care what you look like. Stay away.
Oh my goodness, I can't figure it out.
Yeah, you got to stay away.
There's a powerlifter named Matt Kroc who also transitioned. He was deadlifting over 900 pounds. He was squatting, I don't know, tremendous amount, and then all of a sudden, he was matter of fact, they call him. He would Do you know what a one-arm row is when you get the dumbbell and you're bent over? Yeah. Okay, a one-arm row. They actually made, it's called a croc row. They actually made a dumbbell that was over 300 pounds so we could one-arm row.
Oh, yeah.
And they called it croc rows.
140 was my...
They called it croc rows, and it was over 300 pounds when he was Matt Kroc, and then he transitioned into a woman. And he actually spent over $100,000 on changing his jawline and making his voice higher to be a woman, and so on and so forth. But he likes women.
I just get so confused.
Yeah, me too. I can't keep
I just listen. I have nothing against them. In fact, I'm okay with them. I just get confused by that whole.
Yeah.
What is?
Me too. I don't know.
You're a man. You become a woman, and then you're into women.
Yeah. It doesn't.
I'm just confused by
it.
Now
you're a lesbian.
Yeah, and I'm. Yeah.
What's her name? The singer, not Beyonce, from Jamaica.
I don't know. I don't follow pop music too much, to be honest with you.
What's the name from Jamaica?
Come on. I don't know music.
Yeah, I don't follow the pop music.
I watch no movies. I don't know nothing. I watch Fox News and as you can tell, as you can tell, and the Mets baseball. And I haven't watched Mets baseball in 3 years. But now they're doing good this year. So my Mets may get a fan back this year.
Well, if you are from Brooklyn, you are indirectly a Mets fan.
Yeah, I'm born in Brooklyn.
Because you're a Dodger. My parents were big-time Dodger fans.
My parents were Dodger fans.
And
yes.
the new generation doesn't know, but the New York symbol with the Giant symbol.
And the Mets and Dodgers combined.
And the Dodgers combined. The blue is the Dodgers, the orange was from the Giants, the New York Giants. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm a Met fan. I've been born a Met fan.
Yeah.
You know, my hero was Tom Seaver.
Oh, okay.
Tom Seaver, that was my guy.
Was Gary Carter and, of course, Lee Mazzilli, because he was from Brooklyn.
Yeah, Lee Mazzilli.
Lee Mazzilli.
Yeah, he was.
Matter of fact, when you see my podcast, I have my two autographs in the back of Gary Carter and Lee Mazzilli from '86.
Yes.
They were a crazy team.
Lenny Dykstra was really
nails.
He was just, and he's still got a storied life. He's living. He's out there, I think, in Jersey, ripping it up too. I think we're gonna try to get him on here. We have some people that can reach out to Lenny. I think we're gonna try to get him on.
Wasn't he doing like either car lots or car washes or something to that effect?
He did a lot of different things. He was into planes, and then the rental. He got into planes when the crash hit. Was that Lenny? He got into like the private plane business, where people would have part ownership in planes, and it became very popular. But it took a dive as he got into it, not in a good way, a bad dive.
Right.
And then people started doing it again.
Oh, I know. I was talking about Rihanna.
Oh, Rihanna. Okay, yeah.
I just want to put it out. Yeah, she's pregnant. Hopefully, she gets divorced. Just an open invitation, just to
Wally Backman was one of my favorites.
Oh, second baseman for the Mets.
It was actually
But you got right off of Rihanna. I was still getting on Rihanna.
Oh, sorry, good.
I carried around his picture around in jail with me for about 15 years.
What a guy! What a man! Yeah,
I sent you flowers.
Yeah, I had Cheryl Teague's. I had Cheryl Teague's picture.
I used to love Rihanna.
And Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston too. I have a pass with you, by the way. I got a whole pass with Jennifer.
Celebrity crush I have. I can't remember her name, but we did this on my show. Actually, would you let your celebrity crush shit on you? Of
course.
Yeah, we did.
Of course.
Hold it right there, Rihanna. I love you. Not that.
Okay, hold on. She was in.
There's nothing but perfume going to come out of Jennifer Aniston anyway.
Bad Santa 2, and the cast is, where are we? Christina Hendricks. She is my celebrity crush. When you see her.
Who's great? It's Christina Hendricks.
You know who she is.
Oh, yeah. She's cute. She's got a sexy personality.
And of course,
And my celebrity crush is Tara Burke.
I don't know if you can see that.
Tara Burke,
she's a little too white for me. I gotta take Rihanna.
I like.
Sorry, you ain't got a shot against Rihanna.
I like giant cans.
I'm not a can man.
Really?
No.
I love titties.
Ass and backs.
That's just
ass and backs. Well, that's all you see in prison anyway.
Hit the subscribe button.
Yeah. Come on, guys, you gotta have some fun. Come on, Johnny, you get that the guy who puts a picture of a girl on his back. He's a winner.
Hit the subscribe button. I went in to hear the comments about Mikey Cuts.
Come on, man.
We just did a thing on the people that all the trolls and all the people that write things on comments.
Yeah.
So we did a show just on the comments when they're knocking us.
Yeah. We have a good show.
We got
a good show.
We got about not one. We got a handful that watch all our shows, but yet always comment bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah, I
Thanks
love
a lot.
that.
Yeah, what's the point?
No,
Yeah,
I
you might
I
as well
love
just keep it.
I love them because they keep us interested. You know, like,
Yeah,
what did he
absolutely.
say this week? You know.
Yeah, we want to fire back.
Yeah.
But I would love to know how many people would actually say those things to your face.
None.
Zero.
No, you know who cares?
Zero.
I'm 61 today. I'm not the 38-year-old guy that would knock their brains out
Yeah.
and go 12 rounds. Okay.
I will.
Yeah,
You
I was
might.
gonna say,
Yeah.
you know, you could take the tiger out of the jungle.
Yeah, but there's
you
part of you
can't-
that's still there.
You can't take the
Yeah.
jungle.
You
out
love
of
the
tiger.
way they talk about me, right? These same.
I say to myself, they would never. Do they realize who they're talking about right now? And I'm going, they would never.
Yeah,
Because they watch TV and they play those stupid
Yeah.
video games
And they smoke
think
weed
that,
and jerk off the porno.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but
They-
the weed is not.
Some of my friends, like
That ex-hamster
serious
can be
guys,
addictive.
Veterans, and
Yeah.
you know, I see it on some of their shows. I watch their shows, and I see comments, guys talking. These guys are serious guys seeing action, and they were deployed all over the place. And you're talking about these guys. It's incredible how weak-minded some of these people are.
It's
jealous,
disgusting. It really is.
insecure that write like this. And I always say the same thing. Forget the person that write. I want to see their fathers.
Did you change your
Their
life?
fathers.
Well,
I changed my life. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's the problem.
Hashtag.
Is 50% of the kids are growing up without fathers
yeah.
because of the divorce rate, and then the fathers that they're weak. If you've noticed, the women that are choosing men to be their husbands are weak.
They have no.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right.
It really
They
is.
put the ring in their nose. They pull them around.
Right?
Like, it's not
and
good.
It's like, okay, so
That's why so many women are attracted to John and myself in some ways. You know,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, because
it's-
they see men.
it's
I mean, you know what that's like. It's suffering. You're suffering.
no, it's the God's honest truth. Women run when they they don't even even if it's just friendly.
Yeah.
Girls do not give me any kind of attention whatsoever, and it's this oddest thing. But then I see these guys with these girls, and I'm like, especially in the fitness world, like when I used to compete, and then I used to work backstage at bodybuilding shows. The girls were gorgeous because they're competing in their bikini contests and all this, so on and so forth. And the guys are like these just momos, like holding around their mirror for them and holding around their makeup for them, and that's their boyfriend, that's their husband. And I'm like, holy
Why are you making fun of me? So I'm holding the mirror.
yeah. And it's like, holy shit. But yeah, there's a 50% divorce rate in this country, which means 50% of the kids are growing up without fathers. Because, every other weekend.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's what needs to be taught more in school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Family values at 5 and 6 years
100%.
old, not the other crap. they're trying
And
to teach.
80% of divorces are filed by women.
Yeah.
Really, is it?
Yeah. I liked.
Wow.
Divorces filed by women.
I liked.
Well, there's no consequences. It's just remove the father. They keep the house.
Right,
They have the
right,
money.
of
That
course.
the
They
kids.
got everything. Yeah.
Here's a stat that blew me away. When a woman is overweight, severely overweight, and she's married, and she goes to have the operation, whether it's the band or so on and so
stomach
forth,
sponge, whatever.
they actually have to go to therapy because of the change of life that's going to happen because they're going to lose so much weight. Those girls after the operation who are married, in the first 2 years, 85% of them file for divorce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there
And that's
you go.
why they go to therapy.
Oh, we got to block that operation.
Yeah.
right.
It's unbelievable.
That's our new move. Hit the subscribe button, send comments, and also put the petition in and sign no more weight operations.
Yeah, that's it.
Everybody, it was really nice. Everybody being here with us.
Thanks for
Elite
joining
show.
us.
Check us out. Check out your show, John.
That's right. Serious and Silliness on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, and YouTube.
God bless America.
Wait,
Pro
and I
America.
got-
Pro vets. Pro police.
And I got his shirt.
That's
here.
right.
You got the white one. I got the black one.
That's right.
Anybody need a good law firm? Berman Law Group. Watch them. The Berman team. See you guys.
Thanks.
Have a great week.
Thank you.